And two guests are here to talk about that issue. Joining us now, Skyping in from Reston, Virginia, Katie Yoder, a reporter for the Media Research Center. She handles the culture beat, and a man who knows about culture, Christianity, government, and practical politics, former Boston mayor and former ambassador to the Holy See, Ray Flynn in Boston. Ladies first. So, Katie, what is it about Christmas that leads to big media attacks on Christians in general?
Right. Well, JD, the media attack Christians all year round, but especially during Christmas. It just seems to provide them the perfect excuse to come out against Christians. And you can see this in entertainment media. And speaking of climate change in the European youth clip that you just played, the New Yorker just came out with a piece about climate change Christmas carols, where they made Silent Night about cannibalism. It's it's ridiculous. Instead of recognizing Christmas for what it is, about love and joy and family, they just see this as a special attempt, a news peg to get in their attacks against Christmas.
And mindful of that, let me turn to the good ambassador and the former mayor, Ray Flynn. Ray, there you were at the Vatican. But back home in Boston now, do you see this rush to secularize Christmas? And what does it mean to Catholics and other people of faith?
Well, all over the United States, JD, I think there's a war on Christianity, but particularly during the Christmas season, America is losing the war to maintain Christ in Christmas, in maintaining traditional values and principles. This has been building for the longest period of time, particularly not coming from the people, mostly coming from the television industry and also particularly the movie industry. So there's been a real concerted effort to secularize the United States, and the biggest target of that would be the Christmas holiday. We don't see people walking around or saying Merry Christmas like they used to. They're saying Happy Holidays. And I wish we would take a more affirmative stand and boycott some of these industries, some of these companies, some of the televisions and movies that are trying to secularize and trying to take Christ out of America.
Katie, on your website, you actually list the 5 takeaways from media coverage of Christians in 2014. Can you tell us what those are?
Sure. The first one is about censorship. Basically, the media this year have not been covering the plight of Christians, especially abroad, the persecution of Christians. And so when Christians are in troubled times and in need and their stories should be heard, the media aren't reporting them. So that's the number one takeaway. And then also, it's just they're saying that Christians should be in entertainment, but they should be made fun of. And there are jokes made of them all the time, especially during the Christmas time. Christians are being made fun of during entertainment shows. And this has happened on the Colbert Report, Comedy Central, the New Yorker, just everywhere. And then also the media have been kind of calling out Christians as haters, basically. There was a Washington Post columnist who said that Christians spew the most hateful internet speech and comments, and basically just saying Christians hate everyone, they're terrible people, and there are multiple other outlets who've done the same thing. And then the last...
Sure. Go ahead. The last point you want to make there? Sure. Go ahead, Katie.
Sure. The last two are just the attacks by the media on Christian families in entertainment and also on Christian businesses, such as Hobby Lobby.
Fair enough. Thanks for cataloging those 5 takeaways in terms of media coverage. Let me turn back to my friend Ray Flynn, who has a background in politics and diplomacy and spent time at the Vatican. Ray, in terms of coverage of Christianity, coverage of Catholicism, Pope Francis, does he provide a type of firewall that reintroduces Christian precepts into media coverage, whether the secularists like it or not? We've got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, he's very charismatic in terms of being able to articulate a positive message, a populist message in many respects. But that populist message always gets reported. The more Christian message, the life of Christ and the meaning of Christianity doesn't get reported. It's always presented in a confusing way by the media. This situation here about Cuba is a classic example of it. Nowhere is it mentioned religious persecution. Nowhere is it mentioned human rights and civil rights. We're talking about economics. We're talking about businesses in the Chamber of Commerce. The Pope is representing a message of hope for persecuted Christians and Catholics in Cuba, and also for human rights and civil rights. Is that being reported in the national media? I don't think so, and that's what I'm talking about, JD. You're not getting the full picture of Christianity in America. It's always presented in the most popular way that the media likes to present Pope Francis, not the way in which the combination of faith and morals, but also social justice. See, it's a combination of things, not just one thing that the media like to talk about.
So to the diminution, if you will, of things scriptural and spiritual, the media turns to things cultural and often I guess just in the image of what they would like to see happen, secular. It remains a problem at this time of year, but to Ray Flynn and to Katie Yoder, to you both, have a blessed and Merry Christmas. We appreciate you both. Look forward to having you back. Take good care. And America's Forum continues following this Newsmax Now update.